What if I told you the problem isn't that you're lazy, it's that your brain has become addicted to the feeling of success without the work that creates it? And that's exactly why the people with the biggest dreams often struggle to take the first step. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to imagine a better life? A higher paycheck, a business that finally takes off, a healthier body, a home you're proud of. You can picture every detail. But when it's time to actually do something, you freeze. Instead of opening your laptop, you open YouTube. Instead of going for a walk, you scroll through social media. Instead of building your future, you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. At first, it feels harmless. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And before you know it, another year has passed. That's when the self-talk begins. Maybe I'm just lazy. But here's something psychologists have discovered. People who are truly lazy rarely feel guilty about wasting time. Ambitious people do. They carry their unfinished goals everywhere. At work, at dinner, even when they're trying to sleep. Their dreams never leave them. So if your goals keep replaying in your mind, that's not a sign you don't care. It's proof that you do. The real problem is much deeper. Your brain isn't trying to destroy your future. It's trying to protect you. Protect you from failure, from rejection, from looking foolish. And it does that in the most convincing way possible. By making comfort feel like the smartest choice. Just 5 more minutes. One more video, one more scroll, one more excuse. It never sounds dangerous. That's exactly why it works. Because while you're choosing comfort, your future is quietly waiting. And the most surprising part, your ambition might actually be the reason you're stuck. Here's the strange part. The bigger your dream, the harder it becomes to start. That sounds backwards, but your brain doesn't measure dreams by excitement, it measures them by risk. Imagine someone who wants to lose 10 pounds. Now imagine someone who wants to build $1 million company. Which goal feels heavier? Exactly, the larger the goal, the more pressure it creates. And pressure has a hidden side effect. It makes every first step feel too small. You tell yourself, one workout won't change anything. One video won't grow my channel. One investment won't make me rich. So you do nothing, not because you don't believe in the dream. Because your brain convinces you that one small step doesn't matter. But that's the biggest lie it ever tells. Every successful company started with one customer. Every best-selling author started with one page. Every athlete started with one workout. Success never begins with something big. It only looks big after thousands of small actions are added together. But your brain doesn't show you those thousands of steps. It only shows you the finish line. And when the finish line feels impossible, you don't run slower. You stop running altogether. This is why ambitious people often mistake overwhelm for laziness. They're not avoiding work. They're avoiding the feeling that they'll never be enough. And that's where the real battle begins. Not in your calendar, not on your to-do list, but inside your mind. Because every day, your comfort zone whispers the same message. Stay where it's safe. You can start tomorrow. You'll be better prepared next week. It sounds reasonable. Until one day, you realize you've been preparing for a life you never actually started. And that's when the real question appears. If your brain keeps choosing comfort, how do you finally break the cycle? So, if you're waiting for the day you finally feel motivated, you might be waiting forever. Because motivation isn't where change begins. Action is. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wait until you're motivated. You just do it. That's what habits look like. They don't depend on feelings. They depend on repetition. The same is true for success. The people you admire aren't productive every day because they're special. They're productive because they've stopped negotiating with themselves. They don't ask, do I feel like it today? They ask, what's the next small step? That's the difference. Not talent, not intelligence, not luck. Just one decision, made over and over again. Here's something worth remembering. Your future isn't built in one dramatic moment. It's built in ordinary moments. The moment you close the social media app, the moment you open your laptop, the moment you choose to go for a walk instead of staying on the couch. Those choices seem small, but they quietly shape the person you're becoming. And eventually, that person becomes your identity. So maybe you've never been lazy. Maybe you've been overwhelmed. Maybe you've been afraid of failing. Maybe you've been chasing the perfect moment that never comes. The good news? You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need endless motivation. And you definitely don't need to change your entire life overnight. You only need one thing: a reason to begin. Because once you take the first step, the second becomes easier. Then the third. And before you realize it, the life you spent years imagining starts becoming the life you're actually living. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I'm just lazy," stop, replace it with a different question. What's one thing I can do right now? Then do it. Even if it only takes 5 minutes. Because 5 minutes of action will always beat 5 hours of planning. Your dreams aren't waiting for a better version of you. They're waiting for today's version to finally begin. The psychology of lazy but ambitious people isn't about laziness at all. It's about learning to choose action before your brain talks you out of it.